Hey, hello. How we all doing on this lovely Wednesday evening? I don't know what time or day it is anymore, genuinely.
The eclipse just mucked up everything, man.
It
Just
really
mucked up
did.
everything.
It really did. I took some time off to go see the eclipse with in totality with my family, and we had the convention. It was wild.
It was
It's been a wild couple of
crazy.
days for
I'll say it was
me.
crazy fun. Crazy fun.
Yes, absolutely. But yes, welcome everyone to Chatting with Doug, where you get to ask Doug the questions that you've always wanted to ask him, whether it's about his thoughts or the Nostalgia Critic or whatever, you know what I mean? I see over on Twitch we have a level 4 hype train. Thank you so much. And as per usual here, we are broadcasting simultaneously, I can speak words, on both Twitch and YouTube. So we will have a list with a variety of super chats and bit messages, etc. Wayflow, thank you. Remember, no swearing, Douglas.
That's right. Darn. Did I do it? I totally forgot. Did I even do it?
I was not paying attention. I don't know.
I wasn't either. Shoot. Okay. Darn it in the butt. Sorry. Thank you for the reminder. I legit forgot about that.
I was frozen
today. Yeah. But here we go.
At the very least, no F-bombs.
Yes, absolutely. But I see we have a large list of questions already forming. So let's get to the rules so that we can get to some of these questions.
I was frozen
First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of streams, sometimes we can get to highlighted questions on Twitch or general questions on YouTube, but we cannot guarantee that we are going to see and answer those. On Twitch, we have the bit minimum set to 500 so that we can better facilitate questions, just because we do get a ton coming in at once. And over on YouTube, we prioritize $5 and over super chats being read, and if we have time, we're going to go back and read lower amount super chats. But again, we cannot guarantee that that is going to happen. On the YouTube side of things here, please be aware that I do have a list, so even if your question disappears from the top pin, your super chat disappears from the top pin, I still have a list. We will get to it. You don't need to repeat that, okay? Also on the YouTube side, we said this last time, and I see some of you intentionally did not listen. JL, I'm looking at you because you were here when we talked about this before, okay? I'm just gonna straight up call you out. Please do not give super chats until the stream has started. It's just not fair to the Twitch side and not fair to everyone else if you're going to be doing super chats at 5 o'clock, an hour before the stream even starts. If you are
don't want them coming in like a week early, man. You know what I mean?
we can't start that. We can't start that just deluge of questions before the stream even starts. You can wait until the starting soon screen. If you're gonna do it again, specifically JL, I'm sorry because I know that we have talked to you about this before. We're just not gonna read them. Okay? I'm sorry. We have to have order, all right? I will have order. I was a teacher for 10 years. I will have order.
She did her angry teacher voice for me once, but like, you know, the very quiet line, like being nice and just like, now you listen right here. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, that brought back like flashbacks of being a student. It was unpleasant.
Yeah. Also, we've barely touched the surface of the rules here. Please do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. Please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is that we're going to lose the point and we do not have time to repeat it. So please, short and to the point is better. Please, no spoilers. I got behind on X-Men 97 and Bad Batch. Please, no spoilers. Please, no spoilers.
Shit goes down, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Also, Fallout premieres tonight. Don't do it.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
spoil it. Okay. I feel like I'm missing other things. You can't really check to make sure anymore because we have 2 platforms going on. Wow.
Yeah, we got it.
I got it.
Oh no. Only 1 question per bit message because some people are like 5 questions.
Yes, thank you, Doug. Please limit it to one question per bit message or super chat. It just doesn't feel fair. Again, if you're like, "Hi, I have 4 questions." If you do that, we're just gonna have to either rapid fire and you don't get a satisfactory
Detailed.
answer, or I'm just gonna be mean and choose one of the 4, and you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. I am very much being Teacher Heather today. I am a very much
Chaplin
kidding.
is scared. He's trying to sleep, and he's like, "Teacher Heather, scare me."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
She's
Chaplin.
so in control.
Chaplin, I would never scare you. Doug, yeah, okay. But Chaplin, no.
That's fine. Scare the balls one.
Okay, okay. Oh, and last thing, we're gonna have at some point today a giveaway because last week on Twitch, we did meet our weekly bit goal, and that will be happening on Twitch. And I'll let you know when it's happening. It's not happening right now, okay? But you will have to go over to Twitch if you want to enter the giveaway. All right, great, amazing, fantastic. All right, I'm gonna start over here and then have to go back to where I found the other questions. Bella, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts about Shadow of the Year? Just like Luigi of the Year, are you excited or not?
Shadow of the Year?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is. Year Shadow, like the Sonic character, I guess.
It said Shadow of the Year, and Shadow and Year was capitalized, so I assume it was some kind of movie.
There's the Shadow Year. I'm seeing that. There's the Year of Shadow. I'm not sure what it is. I'm so sorry. I just don't know. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, as YouTube becomes more restrictive, has that impacted your choice of what to review?
Yeah. There's a
Absolutely.
few horror movies I really want to review, and I can't. I just don't know how. We were going to do an Indiana Jones month, but like with Raiders and Last Crusade, I mean, just they're really harsh about, like, can't even say the word swastika on like a stream. I don't know, but they're harsh about that imagery. Even though it's history, obviously it's awful, but it's history. It's in the movies, and Indiana Jones fights them. But we've seen videos get hit for that. So yeah, horror films I really want to talk about, and I can't, because there's a lot of gore in them and stuff like that. So yeah, no, it's frustrating. The one good thing is that sometimes working within the limitations can be a little fun. I still like in one of the commercial specials where this PSA where a car is supposed to land on all these kids. I like cutting before the car hits the kids. Just this happy little, like, we can't show this in happy music, and that was actually a little funnier than the actual image itself, because the actual image is a little cartoony. Actually, when you see it, it kind of sucks out the ferociousness of it. But it's by not seeing it, actually made it a little worse. So I love it when that happens, like the censorship. We're gonna save people's mental health. It's like, haha, we actually scarred them more.
So chat is specifying that yes, they were talking about Shadow the Hedgehog. That apparently they've decided this is the year of Shadow.
Oh, okay. Well, and is that movie coming out, the third Sonic movie, this year? Because I guess it really would be, because they're building him up, I think. So, yeah, that would be cool.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Ever see the Disney era Power Rangers like Ninja Storm and thoughts?
Power Ranger thoughts? I've never seen that. No, I know what you're asking. No, I've just seen like, I don't even know why I watched it because I didn't like it, but I saw up to, I think, maybe the White Ranger, I think, of the original show, however far that is. And I never saw anything beyond that, except for some of the movies I did see, like, to review them. But yeah, I never got into. I think it was just a little past my time.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Thoughts on the show Cobra Kai?
Oh, I like it. I thought it started off great, and second season was still pretty good, but had kind of a clunky finale. And then now it's embracing the soap opera, which is fine, and it's funny, and it's having fun within and I think it is self-aware. But man, that first season, the first half of that second season was so good that it is kind of a shame when it becomes like, Riverdale or like Dawson's Creek or something like that. But I guess that's where it's inevitably going to go. And that's a little bit what the original was. So I get it. I'm excited to see how they finish it up in the movie they're going to do and everything. I'm excited they're going to get Jackie Chan in there. But where's Hilary Swank, man? You gotta get Hilary Swank in there. Come on, at least a cameo. So you got every other Karate Kid cast member there. Just how great would that be if she was in there?
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Do you really hate Full House after Bob Saget's death?
Well, before I hated it, but now that he's dead, I really hate that. I mean, what weird timing. Um, I it it's not my thing. I know it's kind of like the Brady Bunch, like that's kind of what's fun about it. It's just so lamely wholesome. Where something like Bluey can be very cleverly wholesome, and Full House is
Mm.
very lamely wholesome. But and there's a charm to that definitely. But it's not the kind that I get. I love Bob Saget stand up on his own. I think that's hilarious, and I love it's a response to that show and America's Funniest Home Videos and stuff. But yeah, I just never got into it. If other people do, I get it. I understand it. It's just not my thing.
Bella, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm sure you've answered this before, but just in case, what are your thoughts about Akira Toriyama's death?
You know, I still have not seen that much of Dragon Ball, and I always thought I wouldn't like it. Every time I saw bits of it on Toonami or something, I'm like, man, this isn't for me. But then when we did the Toonami episode of Nostalgia Critic, I was looking over some of the clips for it. I was liking it, and I saw how it was at the beginning and where it was, starting off and everything. I think it was the censored version I saw, which even then I was still liking it. That frothy mug of water and everything. So I want to see it, but there's so many of them. I don't know when I'm gonna have time. And regardless of what you think of the show, I mean, he inspired just a whole like generation of people to get into anime. I mean, I feel like Pokemon and Dragon Ball, or Sailor Moon would be in there too,
Mhm.
would be like the three biggies that just suddenly started that boom, I feel like, in the 90s. So, yeah, no, I mean, and like I said, I do want to see the show. It looks like something I would like. I just don't know when I'm going to have time.
Fat Disney Nerd, thank you for the 500 bits. Hello, Dougie Quest and Heather. How are you guys tonight?
Good, thank you.
Good. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Since you briefly mentioned it in today's review, I'm curious what your thoughts are on the film A Place in the Sun. I recently watched it and greatly enjoyed the lead performances. The plot seemed like it might have inspired Woody Allen's Match Point.
Terrible confession. I've never seen it. And I know it's a classic. I know it's like one of the biggest cinematic classics. When we were in Palm Springs, we literally stayed at a place called A Place in the Sun, which Elizabeth Taylor built for while she was filming A Place in the Sun. And she had like Walt Disney there, John F. Kennedy was there, apparently was with Marilyn Monroe there, and all this stuff. I'm like, holy smokes. And I've never seen this movie, so I probably should, because I hear it's a classic. And I have been to some of the locations associated with the movie.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rate these Disney shows? Gravity Falls, Star versus the Forces of Evil, Amphibia, and Owl House.
Gravity Falls, Owl House, I guess Amphibia, and then Star versus those are kind of close. Yeah, I guess but Amphibia does a little better. It just has a weak first season. Yeah, I'd say that.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Without giving too much away, thoughts on today's X-Men 97 episode. Do not spoil it.
I will not. I will not. I will say I think it is. I enjoyed it, but I think it is the first episode where too much was going on, and that's very difficult for X-Men to do, because that's why it prides itself throwing so much info at you, but it balances out pretty well. But by the time I got to the end of it, and so much happens, and I'm like, I would have liked some of this dug into a little bit more, because it's all good stuff, but it goes by just a little too quick. But I also have to wait for the season to end. Maybe by the next episode they'll go more into a few things, and they do a little bit of a retcon I don't like, where, no, don't you know the whole time this was going on and we acted like it was. I hate that in a show, and that I can't see getting better in the season. You know what I mean? Like, that just seems like a lame addition, but still very intense and very good. The animation was great ideas, good lines in it. The one about a terrorist running a country, I won't ruin it after that, but the comeback to that was a really good comeback.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on Bill Murray's performance in Ed Wood? I don't know what happened to my mouth there.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Oh, funny. I mean, just exactly what the role needed. It's not a big role, but he made it count, and he made it. He made it funny. What I like about that movie is everyone made it funny without necessarily mocking them per se. Like, there's definitely a little bit of a simplicity to it, but the simplicity in a weird way makes them more likable. They tried to find the likability in the simplicity. Like, let's just make him this kind of nice character, this kind of oddball that you enjoy kind of thing. It didn't feel insulting. It felt like a loving, simplistic view of these real people.
Max Man, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather, hope you're both doing well this Wednesday night. To Doug, are you going to do Wish as an NC, or was that just a joke at the end of Superman?
No, I literally just finished it, so yeah, it's coming up.
Chase, thank you for the $10 super chat. As soon as I saw today's thumbnail, I felt like I won the lottery. I wish I told you earlier. NTE on the side of the ship was an inside joke, meaning not the Enterprise. Glad you understood the film.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, apparently there's a lot of little things in there, and some of it I knew about. Yeah, and I tried to into a couple of them, but yeah, there's a fair amount going on. Watch the. Oh, I'm sure you have that documentary that came out a while ago about it.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the original Wes Craven film, The Hills Have Eyes?
Another terrible confession. I haven't seen it. That's another like horror classic. I've never seen it. And there's a couple different versions. I hear a lot of them are pretty good. Let me write that down as like, that'd be a good Halloween movie. We're always looking for like good Halloween movies. As one to check out.
A. Incarnati, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on the original 1922 Nosferatu, and what do you think of director Robert Eggers remaking it this year?
I didn't know today. It was. Yeah, I don't know who did the one. It wasn't Werner Herzog, was it? Maybe it was who did that one remake that was pretty good. So Nosferatu is one of those. There's a handful of things I love in it. Everything else I respect about it, if that makes sense, but it's not something I like to go back and revisit a lot. I like to go back to it more for like the film history and like I said, that handful of really good shots and ideas, but I'm more like a Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman guy, sort of the universal monsters. Maybe the hype was so high for me, I thought I was gonna like it more because I do like a lot of silent films, and again, respect the heck darn out of it. But
good catch.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't watch it that much.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. In the BioShock games, which enemy had the better design, the Big Daddy or Songbird?
I mean, Big Daddy's a pretty original. I'm a sucker for the. This is why these stories don't usually drive me nuts. What they call it, the escort missions or whatever, the giant blank protecting the little blank. I don't know why. I just like that contrast of the two. One's really big, one's very tiny. Usually one's a little smarter, one's not as smart, but is a lot stronger. The other's a little weaker. Like I love that. I love that setup. So I think the one with the Big Daddy and like the little zombie girls, whatever those were called, the little sisters, right? Is that what they're called?
I think
so. I love that image. I think it's such a cool image.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you see either Monkey Man or The First Omen yet? I've heard good things about both of them.
Yeah, First Omen apparently is really good. Like, everyone's just really surprised by that because everyone just thought it was a phoned-in prequel, but apparently it's pretty solid. And I've heard good things about Monkey Man. I haven't heard, like, great things, but I still want to check it out. I'm still pretty curious, but no, I haven't seen either.
Big Mac, thank you for the 500 bits. I've been thinking of watching Lost for the first time, but the thing is, I know the ending apparently sucks, so I wanted to ask if it's still worth watching despite that.
I'll say yes, because it still has a lot of good performances. It reveals itself very cleverly. Every single time it gives you an answer, kind of raises 3 more questions, and it's very smart that way. And the build-up is very, very smart. The characters are very likable. Just know there was a writer strike that happened kind of like in the last few seasons. It definitely shows. And because of that, nobody really knows if the ending was the one we were supposed to get. I mean, I guess Abrams pretty much said, yeah, this was it, just not the way we wanted to get there. And the ending is disappointing. But I don't know. I guess it's like saying, don't watch Sopranos because the ending is bad. It's like, no, still watch it. It's very good. But it's tougher with Lost because everything around the show is based around what is going on, but you wouldn't stick around with it if the characters weren't very good and the mystery wasn't very interesting. So yeah, keep all that in mind.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Who do you think is the better Brad Bird villain, Syndrome or Kent Mansley?
Why am I blanking? Who Kent? I know that name,
I
Kent Mansley.
don't know who that is either.
Kent Mansley. I don't know why I'm blanking on that. Oh, from Iron Giant. Okay, that makes more sense.
Oh.
Yeah, and Kent Mansley. Syndrome is the funnier setup for a villain, but Kent Mansley, I think, is the funnier one. He has kind of the funnier lines and everything. Yeah, I like that character.
Caleb, thank you for the 500 bits. Touching base with this question, Doug, have you had a chance to see Motherless Brooklyn? If so, what are your thoughts?
Boy, that's another one that sounds really familiar. Let me see. Motherless Brooklyn.
The way they worded that makes me think they've asked about that in the past.
No, I remember seeing that ad for it. It looked good. I did not get a chance to see it yet. And that'll be a good reminder. I will try to.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Goldfish or cheddar bunnies, and why? Goldfish, come on, they're the original.
You know, I never had cheddar bunnies because I always just looked at it and said, oh, that's just a knockoff of goldfish. But it has been around for a long time. So I don't know, man. Maybe it's fair, but I don't like goldfish either. So yeah, no, I'm awful. Anytime I was given goldfish as a kid, I was like, same thing with cheeses. And I like cheese too, but something about cheese crackers I don't get into.
LPB the actor, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey guys, my question to Doug, what inspired you to add in celebrity cameos for certain reviews?
Oh, it depends. Sometimes I just knew the person. I thought it'd be fun. Sometimes I just knew they were going to be at a con. And, again, the reviews are made pretty tight to when they come out. So I'm just like, well, let me try and make this work, just film something. And then I can think of something later. Like with Cree Summer, we knew she was at a con. We had no idea if we were going to be able to get her to do this bit. But we're just like, well, okay, if we do, what could we put it in? We finally said, oh, there's Inspector Gadget Saves Christmas. That's got to be pretty funny and stuff. And I remember we had someone who was her handler, and she's really, really cool. And I think it's kind of like her side job, actually, is being a handler at conventions because she's so good at it. And we became friends with her, and we're like, hey, can you kind of see if she'd be down for something, And literally, like, we thought it was done. It was the last day of the con, and they had this special deal on, like, Manhattan's at this fancy bar. So we were something like, I don't know, 3 Manhattans down, something like that. And suddenly we got a text saying, yeah, she can do it, but she needs to do it right now. And we're just like, oh, darn heck. So we just like stumble up to the hotel, room and get the camera. And like, we're just stumbling all over the place. We probably look drunk as heck when we talked to her, when we filmed the thing. But she read it, and she said she read it great, did all one go, and said that was pretty funny.
Job Kazobi, thank you for the 500 bits. Warning, don't let Bill Cosby jiggle your jellos.
Oh, yes, thank you. I guess I offered enough creepy imagery with that video already, so thanks for more, I guess.
Player Drew, thank you for the 4-month subscription on Twitch. Welcome back. Alex, thank you for the $10 super chat. What do you guys think of the Joker 2 teaser?
I thought it looked pretty cool.
Me too. There's a couple of really cool looking shots.
Yeah, I'm someone that thinks it doesn't need to exist, but if it is going to, that's a fun, unique way to do it, and that's good people. I like Lady Gaga. I think making it a musical is really ambitious, and I'm curious to see if that's gonna work. I like that something really different as well. Just suddenly made this a musical. So I'm down for it. I'm not saying it's like this is definitely gonna work kind of thing. I have no idea, but I'm hopeful it will, because that's just so strange and so odd. I would love to see it work.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Would you do a review of Big Daddy?
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it on TV. I've never seen the whole thing. Maybe I should sit down and watch. I think I've seen it all just out of order. But yeah, I don't know if I could get much out of it for a review. I think I would just say, oh, that joke works and that one doesn't. I don't think I could add that much.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, how far are you into The Ghost and Molly McGee? Are you still enjoying it? Also, can we get a clue for next week's NC?
It's Wish. Because I literally just told someone, I said, oh, I just finished it. I'm like, well, I guess that gives it away. Where am I? I took a break for a bit because the fatigue came back, and it's been stopping me walking for a little bit. So, yeah, what was the last one? I was like, when they went a little bit more into his memory with the kid. I hope there's more of that. It's the one where it's like the building kept going up, or when they had to climb it to get closer to like his memory. And yeah, I want more of that, man. I want more of that story. I hope they don't cancel the show before they're gonna like reveal more about it.
Captain Cat, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, I found something positive to say about Garbage Pail Kids movie. It looks nice inside of a lit fireplace.
It does. I won't lie. Yeah, you're right.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 500 bits. Seeing how last week you did the top 11 poorly aged Bill Cosby commercials, could you do a Nostalgia Critic review of Disney's The Devil and Max Devin, the movie where Bill Cosby actually plays the devil?
I'm hating now I didn't incorporate a joke like that into there, but yeah, I feel like I got them all out in that top 11. I don't know if there's any, or there probably are, but probably not for me.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. You said you don't like the scene in Endgame where Tony talks to his dad. Why don't you like it? I really like it because Tony always had father issues and it gave him a chance to get some closure.
That's exactly why I don't like it. It's just a personal preference, but I like some things you ain't gonna get closure to. And if maybe that was the one thing, maybe, but I feel like they got so much other closure out of so many other characters, and then made one or two choices involving some other characters in Black Widow. But yeah, it's one of those things where it felt like a deleted scene to me. Like, and if it was just a little, hey, here's a little deleted scene, you can accept this happened if you want, but it's not in the movie proper, kind of thing. I'd be fine with that. But it's like the extended cut of a movie instead of the original cut. The extended cut is really cool, but I like that this is the actual one. Like, this is the canon one. You know what I mean? So that's just my personal take. But a lot of people, have different opinions on it. That's totally fair.
A gamer called Spidey, thank you for the 500 bits. Who does the art for the intro of the Twitch channel? If you do ! Animator, that will take you straight to their YouTube. It's the Critken. So there it is, right there.
Yeah, he did the Beetlejuice opening, a lot of the Nostalgia Ween openings in the X-Men month. Yeah, he's very, very talented.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact, Fox almost cast John Hamm as Mr. Sinister in The New Mutants, but his scenes were never filmed. Do you think he would have been right for the role, and could his presence have improved the movie?
Boy, he looks like him, which I guess isn't the biggest compliment, but if you take away the devil eyes and the sharp teeth, yes, he really looks like him. No, as soon as you said that, I'm like, ooh, I can see that.
Frozen today.
I don't know. The movie actually I didn't think was as bad as I thought it was going to be. I actually really thought the first half was pretty interesting. But yeah, again, just couldn't stick the payoff. But I don't know if it would have made better. It would have been cool to see, but because I do want to see Sinister in a movie. I think that'd be pretty cool, like a live action movie.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Unless has-been creator Vivian Medrano gives me feedback on the Hell of a Boss-inspired story I gave her, your reaction to Jim Carrey fish clip is the best birthday gift I could ever wish for. Thank you.
It's pretty horrifying. I remember when they were talking about that movie, too. I just thought it was one of those, like, through the rumor mill things, but just, yeah. I'm with you, man. You don't think anything can top Will Smith fish, but that did.
Ymir, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey guys, Doug, what is the movie you and Rob disagree on the most? The early Spider-Man and X-Men come to mind.
Eyes Wide Shut, I really love, and he doesn't like. Afterlife. I really like Afterlife. He really didn't like it. The Ghostbusters one. I'm sure there's. I really like the first Hobbit. I can't remember if he thought it was okay or disliked it. I think he thought it was maybe okay. Yeah, there's a couple.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 500 bits. When you were a maintenance man, when did the thought of quitting cross your mind?
So the way it works is that I was gonna graduate college, but they kind of messed up on the forums and said, no, you actually need to take like something like 3 more classes. I'm like, what? So I was really upset at that. I actually thought I graduated, and I'm like, oh wait, don't you get like a diploma and stuff like that? I looked it up, and I know you got to take 3 more classes. So I actually had that job as kind of a temp job for a while. So I knew it was going to reach a point where I was going to quit anyway. But the reason I did that is not because the job was bad. The job was actually very nice and paid well. I liked the people, but the guy I worked under was constantly trying to get me fired, and he had the past, I think, 2 or 3 guys fired. He made up stuff about him. So when he tried to make up stuff about me, they didn't believe him anymore. They're like, no, this is the 4th guy that you're saying, didn't do stuff and everything. And again, he would come to me and smile, be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm just like, "I know what you're trying to do." So that was more for him, and he was in that cafeteria room when I did that. So that was the main reason why.
Job, thank you for the 500 bits. Happy 10 years to the Food Fight review. It was a sad day when Critic
Oh,
lost all hope in life.
man, it's not that long ago. Crazy. But thanks for the reminder.
Burnsy, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, Doug. I was thinking of a Nostalgia Critic video. We talk about movies that are out of time. Legally Blonde was an amazing movie, but it came out in 2001. Kelly's Hero was made in 1970. It was clear as 60s movie that would appeal to hippies. And Demolition Man was an 80s hero, got transported into the future, made in 1993. I'm sure there's more. I'm not sure if you could do more than 5 of those movies. Thoughts?
Wow, man, that was just one breath
It was
you
a
took in
huge
there. That was good.
paragraph.
I thought oh man, I could ask a tough question here. Then when I heard you reading it fast, I'm like, okay, now I know why she did that sigh. I only saw it for the first time maybe a year ago. I didn't grow up with that movie or anything, and I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. That's another one where I don't think I could add that. The same thing with like Mean Girls. Like I saw it, I liked it. There's nothing I'm going to be able to add to it. Like you need someone that really has a passion for those movies to talk about it, I feel like.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, did you watch the Oscar last month, and what did you thought about the Oscar winning results?
Nah, I haven't watched it in a bit. And the reason I don't watch is because the first one I haven't watched in years is when the slap happened. So I'm like, okay, if I don't watch it, maybe they'll guarantee something will happen. And John Cena was naked. I don't know. I guess that's as far as I got there. But I think it's cool at Oppenheimer. As much as I make fun of Christopher Nolan, when he gets a good movie, it's such a good movie. And I really do think that's his best work. I haven't seen all the films, but I do feel like that, probably deserved. That was my personal favorite out of the ones I saw. So I thought that was pretty cool to see.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, Ubisoft just released a new trailer for Star Wars Outlaws. It's now coming August 30th. I assume you'll play it for Disneycember?
Maybe. Epic Mickey is another one a lot of people are asking for. I've never played that before, so that'd be kind of cool to play. So I don't know, maybe one of those.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. We had an earthquake 4.8, and we're still having after the earthquake. Aftershocks, I'm assuming.
Yes. Well, at least your internet's still working better than ours, ironically.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Mind blower number 3. Mr. Potato Head predicted events for Toy Story 3 and 4. In the first film, he predicts the toys are going to the attic in 3. Then he says, I hope Sid pulls your voice box out, which did happen in 4.
That did happen. That's right. I just don't remember 4 that well. And for a second, I thought like, wait, Sid came back? It's like, oh no, but his voice box did get taken out. Yeah. Yeah, I guess when he run out of material, just look to Mr. Potato Head. He has all the answers.
Fire Tower, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you get overwhelmed by action game, I recommend a game called Sky Children of the Light, a 3D platforming game.
Okay, might check it out.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you get a chance to see the remake of Flowers in the Attic yet with Alan Burstyn and Mad Men's Kiernan Shipka?
Let me double check on Flowers in the Attic. Try to remake it because I forget if I saw the original or the remake. Okay, I think I saw. Yeah, I saw the. Oh wait. Oh, which one was? Oh, it. I must have seen the original. I saw the original. Okay. No, it does kind of look like fun. I like Bernstein. She's really cool. Or Bernstein, I should say. Yeah, I don't know where to find this, but I will try to check it out.
Sebastian, thank you for the $5 super chat. How goes it, Doug? Just caught the recent X-Men 97. Have you seen it? And if so, what are your thoughts? No spoilers.
No spoilers. I was saying before, it's the first episode where I thought a little too much was going on because those are all really good ideas. I thought maybe it was squished a little too much into that one episode, and I didn't like the this is what was going on the whole time thing. I don't know what you would call that, but I didn't like that. But it's still good. It still keeps my interest, and it's intense, man. It's an intense episode.
Rezier, thank you for the $5 super chat. Opinion of The Outsiders and its movie.
Outsiders. That's another one. I'm confusing it for the searchers. Hold on. Outside. I think it's yes, Buster. I agree. No, I have not seen this one. Buster, what? Do you want to be in this? Do you want to say hi to people? People ask about you. They think you don't exist anymore. So there he is.
Hi,
There's
buddy.
Buster. There's Buster.
Hi,
Okay.
Buster.
Go keep me out. Yeah, a lot of people do say, "Where's Buster?" It's like just Chaplin wants to be on camera more, I guess. No, I have not seen The Outsiders. I will try to check it out.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Since you spent an entire review referencing it, how about playing the American McGee Alice games? The first game is good, but the visuals, gameplay, and story is so much better if it's in its sequel, Madness Returns.
I haven't played the sequel. The original was one I tried to get into because I love the idea and the visuals a lot. And I couldn't, but I played it like when it first came out and it was on the computer. I don't think I had like the, sort of the platforming and everything figured out just on my PC back then. So maybe I should give it another shot. Might be an idea.
Metalhead Madman, thank you for the $20 super chat. They're playing the Doug theme.
I was frozen today.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Owl House, what do you think of Amity's dad, Alador? I like how it seemed like he was going to be just as bad as her mother, but it turned out despite being absent-minded and distracted, he was overall a decent guy.
I would have liked the original better. I would have liked if he was a little bit more rotten, but maybe just in a different way. I don't know. Because it looked like they were setting him up that way, and then it just looked like they're like, oh, well, maybe we don't want to do that. Maybe we want to play this. Again, maybe they ran out of time and wanted to play a different angle. But yeah, I thought that was kind of a bait and switch a little bit in a way that didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I mean, the character's fine, I guess. But yeah, I would have liked it a little bit more if he was a little bit more of a baddie.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. NC for Darkman, maybe a Freak Show Cinema?
I got it on the list. I'll get to it at some point. That is a very fun movie to talk about.
Tiff Guy, thank you for becoming a member over on YouTube. I couldn't think of the word YouTube for a second. Question for Heather. If you were made CA's resident VTuber, what would your avatar look like? It would probably look like a Gundam.
With purple
some
hair.
kind of mech or something. Yeah, it would be a mech of some sort, for sure. Some kind of cute mech mascot. That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 500 bits. So I finally cracked and checked out Secret of Nim. I liked it, but I didn't love it. Now, before you kill me, two things. One, I watched it as I was starting to kind of doze off. Two, I watched an absolutely visually stunning anime film called Suzume.
Cool. I don't know what Suzume has to do with that, but maybe like coming off of that, watching Secret of Nim, maybe.
Correct.
I would say probably watch it again because part of what's so cool about that movie is watching the animation, the little expressions on the characters and the backgrounds and stuff like that. That's if you're dozing off, I feel like you're missing half the movie. That's my personal thought, but yeah, there's people that don't get into it either. That's totally a thing.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. NC for Tropic Thunder. The jokes about Robert Downey Jr. practically write themselves.
I do have it on the list. That is one of those where I'm just like, okay, is YouTube gonna take me down for this? I don't know. Hopefully not, because I really like that movie. I think it's a good movie to talk about, but it is on the list. I would like to talk about it.
Case Sutherland, thank you for the $5 super chat. Am I the only one who thinks Mr. Wolf and Mr. Snake from The Bad Guys are in love with each other, or is that just my inner furry?
I think there's a sequel coming out, so maybe they'll explore that more.
Gun Griffin, thank you for the $20 super chat. What happened to doing the Highlander review? Also, thought about doing the Ghostbusters game that was made using the 90s script for GB3 and had the original cast back to voice and motion capture. It's basically the third film.
Maybe. That's another one where I've seen like bits and pieces of that game. I don't know if I've ever I've never played, and I don't think I've seen like the whole story. So that might be an idea. Another one too. I've never played Simpsons Hit and Run, and I feel like that would kind of count for Disney December because Simpsons, Fox, can make a little little bit of an argument there. But yeah, maybe. And then what was the first Ghostbusters? What was the other one?
Highlander review.
Highlander. It's another one that's still on the list. It's one of those I don't know how many people would be interested in. It would just be I want to talk about, so maybe it would be like a January review.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Didn't mean to worry you. It was actually a THC gummy I was on during the 6-hour Hell of a Boss cotton candy dancing, not shrooms. Glad to know you like that song too.
Yeah, no, I love Delta 8, man. I think I can I'm not sure if I can say that. If you were in a spot where you can have Delta 8, that's my jam. That's my thing, man.
Jacob, thank you for the $2 super chat. Lemon Ice, thank you for the $5 super chat. Has Doug seen The Venture Bros? Favorite show of mine.
Yes, it's very, very good. And somewhere there's a person did a really good video, a YouTube video about just talking about how the whole show is analyzing failure
was frozen
and how to live with
today.
it and how to not live with it and whether the way you live with it is right or wrong, or is there even a right or wrong? And it was so interesting. And really summed up the show in a very smart way. And the show is very smart. It's kind of like, but it's not something you can just drop into. You have to start from the beginning because it's like the Tick. It keeps going with running jokes to a point where even I forget, like, oh yeah, why is that character, have a chest now? Why is that character a villain now? Why is this character a giant? This one's small. Why does this one have a big head? Like, so much happens in the show, and the running jokes are part of what's so funny about it that I forget why it's supposed to be funny, but sometimes that makes it even funnier. I'm like, oh yeah, this world is just so crazy. I have to accept, oh yeah, this is just how it works.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Who was your least favorite Disney villain?
Least favorite. I'd have to well, yeah, and even then, are we talking about I'm assuming they're talking about animated villains.
Yeah.
Man, least favorite. Trying to go through ones that were just kind of bland or nothing. People are gonna be disappointed because I love the design. I love this actor, but I thought the Horned King was so boring in Black Cauldron. I thought he just had nothing interesting at all outside of the design and the voice actor.
Juliana, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you review Ella Enchanted for its 20th anniversary?
That's another one I never saw. I heard it's okay. Yeah, but I never checked it out. Yeah, maybe I'll take a look.
Frank, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you watched a TV show called Chuck? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Years ago, I tried and I wasn't getting into it, but that's another one that really exploded and people oh, you gotta stick with it. It gets so good and everything. So yeah, maybe one day I'll go back and watch it.
Curtis, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you see the latest episode of X-Men 97? God dang it.
Yeah, man, maybe I'll be the because I didn't dislike it, but maybe I'm gonna be the outlier with it. Maybe I'm gonna be the one that's yeah, it's just doing a little too much in it. But I do agree, the ideas are really cool, and it is very, very intense, and the animation is spectacular too. But yeah, that's so funny. I thought this is the first one where I'm yeah, they could have pulled back a little bit. Where everything else I thought went appropriately at the right speed and pace. But again, maybe I have to wait for the whole season to play too. Something might be revealed.
Ruben Hall, thank you for the $5 super chat. You've trashed Triangle of Sadness a couple of times. While I love it, I know it's not for everyone. Could you give us your detailed thoughts on it?
I didn't know I trashed it. I liked it fine. I think it was more the hype around it. For something that's very obvious, but but it's not bad. I like it. It kept my attention the whole time. But yeah, well, once they do get on even before they get on the island, I feel like you can kind of put together where it's going. But it's done well, and I dig it. But yeah, I wouldn't say I disliked it. I just think it won all these awards. Oh man, the most important film in years and stuff. I'm I don't know if it's that, but it is good. I liked it.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, as much as I've countlessly requested Telltale's The Walking Dead, my close second is Horizon Zero Dawn. It's such a great story.
Is that the one with it's apocalyptic, but the animals are machine? It's got the redhead with the.
Love Horizon Zero Dawn.
I've seen bits of it. Rob's played and he showed me a little bit of it. It does seem pretty cool. I wouldn't mind playing that at some point, but yeah, again, it's just there's so many games people want me to play, and they take time. It's not like seeing a movie; they really, really take time. But I have seen a little bit of it. It looks very, very cool. Somewhere down the line, I wouldn't mind checking that out.
Sebastian, thank you for the $2 super chat. Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you review The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for its 20th anniversary in 2025? Martin Freeman was a perfect Arthur Dent since he narrated the audiobooks.
Oh, I didn't know he narrated the audiobooks. That's really cool. Yeah, maybe. So I remember the books, but I'm not an expert on them, and that's another one where I feel to talk about, you might have to be an expert. It's a shame because that movie's almost good. There's so many things. A lot of people hate it when it came out, and I don't hate it. But it doesn't work. And I feel like to talk about why it doesn't work, you would kind of have to be an expert on the book. So I don't know. It's I don't gonna put it on the list, but who knows? Maybe just somewhere I might get inspired to do it or something.
Mavari Cat, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hello, Doug. I've been meaning to ask. It's been 30 years since Sonic Sat AM. Have you considered a serious series plunge as to why the fandom is still so strong to this day?
I mean, I feel like when I talked about it, that was kind of I mean, I know it was back when I was more comedic and stuff like that, just kind of going for the jokes and stuff. But I did also kind of give my real thoughts on it. Like I feel like it's there.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Did you know Del Toro's adaptation of Lovecraft's At the Mountains of Madness has been in development hell since 2006? Maybe Netflix will help since his 2008 Pinocchio project was best just by existing.
Maybe, but he does abandon stuff left and right. Honestly, I'm confident maybe Pinocchio is as good. He had no director on Pinocchio though. Maybe that's why it finally got done. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a constant thing of his. But I mean, whatever he does, whether it's like good or bad or indifferent or whatever, it's always pretty interesting. So yeah, I'm always gonna be interested in whatever he does or doesn't do.
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. What movie do you think is closest to perfect? Writing, production, acting, emotional beats, everything involved in the movie experience.
Amadeus, I think, is about as perfect a movie as you can get. I mean, that really, it's like a Mozart opera. Like, there's just nothing wrong with it. They even had an extended cut years later. And it's interesting. It's not bad, but it's not perfect. The original is perfect. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's other. Godfather is. I mean, I think he's right. Godfather is a pretty perfect movie. Ghostbusters, I would kind of call a perfect movie in many respects. Yeah, no, I know there's others, but those are ones I can think of right now.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 500 bits. So I have one more idea for a pinball game that needs to happen. Hear me out. A Greatest Showman pinball game. The pinball game that plays an inspiring song every time you lose.
I feel like the whole movie is just a pinball game. Yeah, I feel like that practically makes itself. I'm trying to think at Midwest Gaming Classic, did we see any Greatest Showman pinball? I'm kind of shocked we didn't. Yeah, look that up. See if that exists already, because it might.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, when you were a teacher, what was the most egregious part of my job? The most egregious part is dealing with entitled parents, not kids. Entitled parents whose little Jimothy could never do such a thing. Why are you lying about Jimothy? It's like...
I was going to say my wife used to work with kids too. Same thing. She said the kids is not the hardest part, it's the parents.
At Movies, thank you for the 550 bits. I just want to let you know I'm currently directing a short horror film. It's called Ghost Stick, and it's about a possessed joint.
Yeah, actually.
That's fun.
Are you seeing the ghost or are you high? Yeah, that's actually kind of an interesting idea. Yeah, okay. It's kind of cool.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. You said you've seen a few episodes of Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, so I was wondering, what did you think of Patrick Warburton as Buzz?
Oh, he was great. And I love his performance because he doesn't really sound like Tim Allen, but you still kind of see that as Buzz. It makes sense. Like, it's almost like Warburton looks like how the Buzz Lightyear character looks. So it kind of makes sense he would sound like that. You connect the voices. Yeah, no, I thought he did a very good job.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. If you loved Pauly Shore Pinocchio, then you're going to love his next dubbed film. It's called My Sweet Monster. This time, Pauly voices a creepy postman wanting to marry the king's teenage daughter. Yikes.
Didn't that come out already? I thought I remember Brad reviewing that right after the Pinocchio one. Maybe it didn't. Maybe there's another one he did. I don't know.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Guns of Navarone and or Force 10 from Navarone?
No, I don't even think I've heard of him. I'll try to check him out.
Multi Sabata, thank you for the $2 super chat. That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 500 bits. Sorry if this has already been asked. Did you see the Joker 2 trailer? Not gonna lie, it has me intrigued.
Yeah, me too. Well, just every announcement they had about it, as someone who really thought there shouldn't be another movie, it should stand on its own, everything they would say about it that would come out about it, I'm like, well, that's interesting. Well, okay, that could be kind of, okay, now I really got to see this movie. Like, that just kept getting better and better. So, yeah, I'm on board.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Owl House, how did you feel when it was revealed what King was and where he came from?
I liked it. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think if there was something about it that didn't. No, it did. I'm trying to think back. I thought there was something that didn't quite click with me, and I can't remember what it was. I think it was without giving away too much, the fake out. I remember something about that didn't quite click, and I have to go back and watch it again. But I mean, but it was still fine. Nothing stood out major. But no, I like the way they did that. And ultimately, I guess I should say what they reveal at the very, very end, what he is, was a good payoff. I thought that made sense.
Justin, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, Doug. Happy Wednesday. While many people do not like the Alan Tudyk goat in Wish, I thought the star was the worst character. Your thoughts?
I don't know. It's kind of pick your poison. There's a lot of bad. I think just collectively, those seven dwarves were pretty obnoxious. But the goat was pretty bad. I can see why you wouldn't like the star because he's literally just this happy. I mean, he's literally a happy face with some points. Like that's it. Just meant to be marketable. Doesn't talk, and is the only personality. He's happy. I get that.
Spike, thank you for the $10 super chat. What happened to the MCU? Prior to Endgame, I watch every film. Now I didn't watch any last year. Is it the new characters or story?
I mean, there is definitely a thing where people were saying like Disney's trying to do too much. I mean, last year was just abysmal for them, and I think even they said, "Okay, we gotta slow down. We gotta." It's not even that they were terrible; they were just standard. It's all stuff we've seen, and years ago you could get away with that, but now we're just having so much content thrown at us. And I think it's tougher to stand out and innovate because of it. So I think you do need to take a little bit more time, but which is tricky because then you create something that could be new, but then like three other movies could do it while you're doing that too, because everything's just moving so fast. So it's tricky. I would not, in one sense, I wouldn't want to be in their shoes at this point, but at the same time, man, they went for what, 10 years with hit after hit? I mean, I've never seen anything quite like that in terms of like just a cinematic universe and everything like that. Like they did kind of change Hollywood for a little bit. So I don't want it to die. I want Fantastic Four to do well. I want X-Men to do well. Because I like all that stuff. But yeah, it's I think that's the big thing. It's not even that they were awful. They just started to become very standard. And I actually like it more when they experiment, but when they fall back into their usual, status quo stuff, for me, that's my guess. That's what I think people are starting to get a little tired of.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is one of two. You can absolutely review Somewhere in Time. It's literally a movie about time travel, and you have the best joke in your pocket thanks to Super Month. So,
that's a fair point. That's a fair point, and literally in my pocket too.
Oi Ramp, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you hear about what Billy D. Williams said recently? Please look it up. If you haven't, you'll be surprised.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'll read it right now, but I will have it ready to go.
Okay. Oi Ramp, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on Osamu Tezuka. Sorry, Osamu Tezuka.
I'm not sure who that is. Do you know who that is?
Didn't he do Metropolis? He's an animator, Japanese animator.
Oh, okay. How do you spell his last name?
Oh, Astro Boy. Duh, Astro Boy. Me. Osamu words. OSAMU space TEZUKA. He is a legend, truly.
Okay, I've seen Metropolis.
Astro Boy for sure.
Yeah, I definitely know Astro Boy. I guess that's the big. I'm looking at the art stuff he's done. Oh, Kimba. He did Kimba. All right, I remember liking that. Yeah, I definitely know this style. I mean, this really was kind of like anime Disney, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I haven't seen a ton from him, but I definitely know if he did do Metropolis, I saw that and I liked it. And I did see Kimba. I like that too. Yeah, he has this very, very Disney-esque style back, like old original Disney, but was definitely with the anime influence as well, which is kind of fun to see those combined. So yeah, what I've seen, which isn't a ton, I remember liking.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Why didn't you bring back Marobot for thumbnails when you revived the critic? I loved his work.
It was just a different kind of thing we were trying to do, especially because we were doing the videos differently. We did want to change up the style a little bit. So it was one of those things where it's like, okay, and that's kind of what was in at the time. Like, not to say there aren't like drawings of title cards and stuff, there still are, but yeah, and his work was great, definitely. But yeah, we were just changing it up a little bit. Again, where somebody looks at they see it's the Mr. Beast thing. You see that face? Oh, that's who's going to be in the video. You immediately recognize that as an NC video. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But yeah, his work was very, very good.
Chase, thank you for the $10 super chat. 2 out of 2. When Reeves' character asks, "Is time travel possible?" cut to you saying, "Pfft, you should know," and show rings around Earth, or at the end when he returned to 1980, say, no problem, fly around Earth.
Yeah. See, now we said in his pocket, I thought you were going to talk about the penny in the pocket
Mhm.
too. So that's already jokes out there. So I will keep that in mind.
Patsy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever gotten to watch the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I stopped watching for a little bit, but it's good in my opinion.
Talking about the show,
I'm
Let's
assuming.
see, Ninja Turtles. I gotta see that's the Nickelodeon. It is Nickelodeon. No, I haven't. I still have the DVDs that somebody gave me, and it's in my DVD collection, and I should watch it. It's just a time thing. I'm so sorry. I like so many things I want to watch. Like when I finally retire and I'm done, I want to watch that. I want to watch Dragon Ball. There's like all this stuff I finally want to put on and be like, okay, One Piece. I finally want to sit down and just watch all of them.
Christopher, thank you for the $5 super chat. Which version of Miles Morales do you prefer and why? Miles from the PlayStation game or Miles from the Spider-Verse movies?
Oh, the Spider-Verse. He's fine in the PlayStation games, but he's I don't. Maybe just because the conflicts and the choices and everything are so much more interesting in the Spider-Verse movies. Which again, not to say they're bad in the games, but yeah, just everything with Spider-Verse just goes to a whole new level in my opinion. So yeah, I say that.
Jacob, thank you for the $20 super chat. Hi, Doug. A little question about your school years. Did you do any music-related stuff in school, seeing as how your parents were musically inclined?
I sung a little bit, but that was about it. My mom did sign me up for singing lessons. I think when I was in college, she knew a really good singing teacher, and I still don't know how to read music. But I know how to use the dome. She always used the dome of the mouth. That's the biggie, so I always remember that.
Mhm. Puni, thank you for the €10 super chat. I've been seeing many of your reviews and reflections for a long time, from the laugh that The Wicker Man made me to the analysis of The Graduate, Halloween specials, and more. Thanks, from Barcelona.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for watching for so long.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Did you buy the 4K of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
No, I didn't know they. Yeah, that's right, because they've had weird history with releasing that on physical media. No, but I probably should because I really like that movie. I still have to see the new one too.
The Music World, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, can we all agree Bob Iger sucks? Why do we need a Toy Story 5? I mean, he knows it'll make money, but why ruin a classic series?
It was ruined with Toy Story 4. In my opinion, I feel like they had a totally fine landing with 3. I think it was silly to do more. Or if you're gonna do it again, do Woody the Cowboy or something like that, or do Jessie the Cowgirl or a Buzz. Okay, they did a Buzz Lightyear movie. You saw how good that was, but I mean, just about the toy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just do it right. Like, you don't have to make a Toy Story 5. Right? Half the cast isn't even around anymore. So yeah, I'm not following it. I'll say this: I hope the same thing with the Frozen movies and stuff. I hope they can stick the landing better. But Toy Story 4 wasn't awful. It's just kind of, it doesn't need to be there, and I thought it was kind of awkward. So. Okay, maybe be nice if they got a stronger ending, but I don't know. I'm not seeing it, y'all.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Gargoyles, how did you feel when Xanatos became a good guy?
Oh, I love it. I love, my brother always called it alliance of convenience, where at first, the good guys and the bad guys team up just to take out another bad guy, as the enemy of my enemy, my friend kind of thing. But then he legit kind of turns good in a way that makes sense. Like they would weirdly kind of earn each other's trust, even though they have their differences. So I thought it makes sense. Now, of course, I love him more as a villain, but that transition made sense. It didn't feel out of character.
Super Guy, thank you for the $10 super chat. On May 18th, I'm going to Novi, Michigan, and I'm going to meet Dante Bosco. Do you want me to say hi for you? P.S. I'm the guy in the green shirt covers with pins in Grand Rapids Comic Con.
Oh, cool. I'm good. I can say hi myself, but you can say hi to him for yourself.
Metal Zell, thank you for the $5 super chat. You're a big Bebop fan. You seen any other Studio Sunrise productions? For example, The Big O, Code Geass, Inuyasha, etc.
I saw Big O, and I like that. They did Wolf's Rain too, right?
I am unsure.
I'm pretty sure that I love Wolf's Rain. Absolutely love that show. I saw a little of Samurai Shampoo, I think, or Shampoo,
Shampoo.
something like
Mhm.
Shampoo, yeah. And I like that. It might be. I never did see Inuyasha. I've heard pretty good things, but I guess it's not quite as good as like Bebop or Wolf's Rain or all
Mhm.
those.
Oi Ram, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you hear about the controversy James Marsden is in? Apparently, he defended someone whose name reminds with Ryan Speck. Needless to say, some of Marsden's movies might be boycotted.
Uh, was that the one in the
I,
documentary that came out
yeah, I think it's a
recently?
part of Quiet on
Okay,
the Set.
okay. I did see that, and it's hard not to go at
Mhm.
it, but yeah, that's all I could do. I could just go
Mhm. Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. Idea for the chat: instead of driving Heather nuts with B movie, let's drive her nuts with Will Ferrell quotes, since she once said she can't stand him. Boats and hoes, baby. Listen, I don't hate Will Ferrell. I just hate the persona he puts on sometimes, and he's very annoying and elf, and you cannot change my mind about that.
I do like a lot of times. I think I said I didn't like was it Tracy Morgan, and he got in a car accident. It was like, oh, what do you think about that? I'm like, well, I don't want him to die. I don't want
Right.
anything bad happen. I'm like, he could be a totally sweet human being. I'm talking about his comedy. I don't like the comedy from the dude, but
Mhm.
it's like I don't want anything to happen to him.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How is Molly McGee going? How are you liking it?
Good. Yeah, I think the last one I was at was the one where we got a little bit more into Scratch's memory, and I'm digging it. It's good. It's a good show.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Will you ever do a review of Smallville since Talkville is still going on?
Uh, that's another one I never. Did you ever see Smallville, Heather?
Bits and pieces, not all of it, but yeah.
Is it worth it?
You know me, I love that CW trash. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's worth it for you. There might be a couple of good episodes that would be worth it for you,
That's
but
kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like there probably be a handful of things because people are still talking about it. That came out a while, so I'm like, there's got to be some things in there I would probably like, but I don't know if I would get into the whole thing. You know what
mhm.
I mean? One day I'll try to give it a chance.
Sebastian, thank you for the $2 super chat. Metalzel, thank you for the $2 super chat. Nerdman, thank you for the $2 super chat. Juliana, thank you for the $5 super chat. Maybe it's because I've seen Poor Things 5 times, but I want Yargos Lanthimos to do a Caligari remake.
Oh, Cabinet of Caligari. Oh my God. Ooh. Yeah, but well, I was gonna say the original's so good, but at the same time, man, what he would put a fun spin on it. But you could also argue, in some respects, he did kind of with Poor Things. I mean, it does have like elements of it in there. Only if he wants to. That strikes me as a director who makes something only if he wants to, and that's the stuff I want to see from him.
Buns Buggy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Can you please do a Dark Toons episode on Pleasure Island from Pinocchio?
Oh, just the scene? Hmm. Actually, it is kind of a fun idea. Uh, I might. That's kind of a fun idea. I haven't done Dark Toons, I think, literally in years. But as soon as you said that, I'm like, ooh, that would be kind of fun. Because, yeah, I do love that scene. I might look into that.
Chris, thank you for the $5 super chat. If Tim Allen ever shoved you like he did that guy in Galaxy Quest, would you punch him in the face and then fight him? I certainly would.
No, I'm a coward. Complete coward.
Fantastic.
And I'm allergic to getting hit. It hurts.
Frank, thank you for the $10 super chat. It's okay, Doug. There's a few movies I haven't seen. I haven't seen The Omen. I saw the first Omen last night and really liked it. Are you a fan of those movies?
Today.
No, weirdly. I think they're a little too over the top for me, but this new one apparently is supposed to be really, really good, so I'm really curious to check it out. It's one of the few times where an epic choir was too distracting for me because I love choirs in movies, but that one, is just so over the top, and the decapitation too, I thought was so over the top, but that was like really shocking at the time. So I don't know. I don't hate it. That's just like Exorcist is more of my uncomfortable horror. You know what I mean?
Mustard Man, thank you for the 500 bits. This year, can we expect a review of The Neverending Story to celebrate the 40th anniversary and officially complete the trilogy? I know that Bum gave his thoughts on the film, but what are yours, Mr. McCritic?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love the movie. I might. That's another one I have on the list. I was kind of saying like, yeah, it would make sense to finish that out. So I might.
Doug, thank you for the £5 super chat. If Gilbert Godfrey was still alive, would you have tried to get them on an episode?
I don't know, because I know James had him on there, and it was pretty fun. You know what? If anything, I would do it just to do the impression for him. It would be pretty funny if we were just both doing that voice back and forth. That would be pretty funny. Or maybe it would just annoy the gosh darn of everybody. But I would have fun with it.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you ever review the Teacher's Pet TV series for Disney December?
Probably not. I did the movie. The movie was enjoyably silly. I did like it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's much of an audience for it, and they take time to watch. So yeah, probably not.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Kirk's death scene in Star Trek Generations?
I don't like it. I think I talked about it in the review, but it's funny because we didn't like Star Trek V that much, but we really, my brother and I, but we really liked the scene where he says, "I always knew I would die alone." There was something weirdly sad but kind of poetic. Like, it kind of feels right for Kirk. I know at the end he's like, "Oh, but you were never alone." But that's how he knew he wouldn't die. So I think having a thing where he's talking to someone like, "Oh, I'm handing the torch," but you don't need to hand the torch. They're already established. They're already blah blah blah. So I didn't hate it, but it didn't quite feel right. What a weird final mission for him to die on too. I don't know. Just never quite felt right.
Buns Buggy, thank you for the $2 super chat. Nerdman, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the 70s Toei Spider-Man series?
Only bits and only the memes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I've seen. But that was pretty entertaining.
Okay, cool. I think I'm going to have us spin this wheel for a giveaway. Nice. This is over on Twitch. So last week we did hit our goal for the bit goal for the giveaway, which we do have weekly now. Today's stream just happens to be when we're doing the giveaway from last week. I'm going to spin the wheel to see what we're giving away, and then I'll get it started in just a moment.
Spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel. What are we doing?
Today.
We are doing stickers. Okay.
Yay!
So it's for these beautiful Nostalgia Critic and Hyperfan Girl and Donut and stickers.
Just okay? Donut, like we have like it's Red versus Blue. We have a character named Donut.
It says Nostalgia Critic and it's got your donut. It's almost like it's like an iconic thing for you or something.
Makes sense.
Okay. So give me 1 second. You are going to have to go over to Twitch if you do want to be a part of this. We are not going to be doing it on YouTube. It's only Twitch. Mainly because I don't know how to make this work across both platforms. That's something for future Heather to figure out, and future Heather has not figured that out yet. What? Sorry, something is going on that should not have happened.
Oh no. Oh no.
Closed. Yes. Hello? Complete. Sorry. I'm sorry. This was totally fine 2 minutes ago. Okay. All right. There it is. So on Twitch, you will type !Raffle. We have 15 minutes on the clock if you wanted to get over there. !Raffle right now will get you an entry into it.
I like they did that.
Awesome.
This is fine.
This is fine.
Just as everything went wrong there. It was pretty funny.
It was fine. Everything got figured out, and that's what matters. All right, let's continue doing this then for the next 15 minutes. Jack, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you review the Final Destination movies this October?
All of them? Man, I've only seen the first one. No, actually, that's not true. I've seen bits of some of the others because people would just say, "Oh, the deaths are so crazy and stuff," and they are. They're pretty fun. But I don't know. I guess I never quite got into them as much as everyone else did. Like they were fine, or at least the first one was fine. But yeah, never quite grabbed me like everyone else did.
Sebastian, thank you for the $5 super
That
chat.
sounded bad.
Kent Mansley, enormous beast. Poofed. Biggest thing in this town's probably the homecoming queen. Oh my god.
Oh, yes, that was a line from the movie.
Metal Zell, thank you for the $2 super chat. Joy Williams, thank you for the $2 super chat. JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Bill Cosby gonna get you.
We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you. You know.
JAC, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, a game you may want to try on your Twitch channel is Infamous. It's pretty much a first-person shooter, but instead of guns, you have electric superpowers.
Huh. Okay, Infamous. I'm typing Infamous game, but I'm like, it's probably a lot of things are gonna pop up for this. Like, oh yeah, that's Infamous. That's Infamous. Oh, it's an Infamous series too. Oh, this looks like fun. All right, might be an idea.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Molly McGee, you said you weren't crazy about Molly's love interest, Ollie. Has he gotten any better?
No, but he's not awful. He's solid. I don't know. There's always something, male or female, when you just see a character. It's like, I'm love interest. And they even try to give a few little, quirks to make an identity and stuff. It's like, no, we know what you are. You're the love interest. But sometimes they can have fun with that, almost like how laughably bland a character can be and stuff. But he's pretty boring to me.
Sonic Fan, thank you for the $10 super chat. This year, are you going to do a review of Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance?
Probably not, because we're trying to do more other stuff like Epic Mickey and like that one of these are a Star Wars game, or even like Simpsons Hit and Run and stuff like that. If I do Kingdom Hearts again, I want it to be 4. I want to save it for 4, you know what I mean?
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the first Best Picture winner, Wings, from 1927?
I don't know. Is that the Howard Hughes movie?
Wings.
1927. I
don't
think I know. Hold on. Who directed it? I think I know more about the making of this film than the actual film itself, actually. Hold on. Let me see who directed it. See if it's the one I'm thinking of. No, maybe I haven't. Okay. I think I was confusing this for another movie. Maybe I should check it out.
Great. Pretender, thank you for the 500 bits. A bit of a throwback. One of my favorite bits of yours back in the day was when Ask That Guy did a crazy impromptu dance to Bohemian Rhapsody, leading to him breaking his pipe. What part of your brain spawned that genius?
Oh, well, it actually just broke. And honestly, I don't remember the bit. The fine thing about, so already with a lot of videos, you kind of make it, put it out there, and it's just, you got to get to the next one kind of thing. I don't usually have time to watch a lot of them. With Ask That Guys, it was that like on speed. I just wouldn't think at all about what I was saying. Just go to the craziest, most offensive thing possible and make it sound like it's a real thing. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I have this voice, kind of thing. So yeah, I do not know. I do not have memory of that. I don't know why I danced to Bohemian Rhapsody. And even if I watched it, I'm sure I still wouldn't know why.
Godzilla Fan, thank you for the 500 bits. Is there any extended edition movie that is better than the original?
The first half of Fellowship of the Ring, I think the extended edition is better. After that, just watch the original. But and this is actually from an editing standpoint. I don't like the editing in Fellowship of the Ring. It particularly when it's introducing the characters and stuff. I thought it was very choppy and mucky, and you got just enough of a feel for the people, but not enough to like them, kind of thing. As it went on, it got better. But yeah, that kind of drove me a little batty.
Sebastian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Idea for fanscription, rewrite of Origins Wolverine. Swap Deadpool with Omega Red. Thoughts? That way you save a mutant DNA splice plot for Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, and they're kind of working on them as an experiment. So that would kind of make sense. Yeah, I think that. Maybe, we'll see.
Ram, thank you for the 500 bits. So thoughts on reviewing Dodgeball 20th anniversary, and certainly some things or cameos haven't aged well.
Boy, that's another one I only saw for the first time last year. I remember liking it. I'd have to go back and see which ones didn't age well. I'm sure you're right. I just have to go back and watch it again because I just saw it last year.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. I'm one of the few people who was okay with Black Widow's death. Don't get me wrong. I was sad when she died, but I like how she heroically sacrificed herself. And I'm happy Hawkeye didn't die so he could go back to his family. Let's watch the spoilers.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't processing that. And then I realized as I was reading it, like, that was a lot of spoilers I just read.
It is years ago, though. I mean,
it is. That's true.
But that is a major scene. But I mean, fair. I mean, I guess somebody said, like, it was the editor or something was saying, like, yeah, they shot both, and the editor said, yeah, it really should be her. It's her choice. Go on and stuff like that. I really like that character, and I feel like if I get the nobility of it and everything, but I like her so much that I'm just like, nah, I don't know. It's like, For some reason, I always think of Indiana Jones when I think of her. Like she doesn't need to say much, but she gets across so much with just little words, little grunts, little reactions and stuff like that. And I'm just imagine if Indiana Jones went out that way, it wouldn't feel right. Like it wouldn't be awful. It wouldn't feel right. There's a better depth out there. You know what I mean? If you're gonna
Yeah.
do it. So yeah, that's kind of my take. But I know there's people that like it fine.
Metal Zell, thank you for the $5 super chat. Favorite Comedy Central slash HBO show? Gotta go with Workaholics for CC and HBO Eastbound and Down slash Spawn.
Hmm. Uh, man. Maybe Kirby Enthusiasm for HBO. That was pretty fun.
Ooh.
And man, Comedy Central. I'm sure there's another way. Maybe a toss, like a three-way toss-up between Daily Show with Jon Stewart, Dr. Katz, and South Park. Which those couldn't be more different, but that's kind of why I like them.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever seen the show Hilda?
Yeah, I liked it. I really enjoy it. I like the atmosphere and the mood around it. I really like it.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Would you ever do a review of Star Wars 4K 77, the fan preservation of the original trilogy?
Oh, I'll like review the movie. I thought about, I did Disney December talking about those movies. And I feel like I got out all my thoughts there. But I don't know if I'm ever like in a weird mood where I feel like I can add even more to it that everybody hasn't talked about, because everybody's talked about those movies. Maybe I will, but yeah, I think I'm gonna be repeating what a lot of people say.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. I recently watched Sofia Coppola's On the Rocks again. It was all right, but I forgot just how Bill Murray was in the movie. I thought it was funny how delightfully out of touch his character is.
Yeah, it's funny because I like Sofia Coppola's work, but I do get the impression somebody did a really good video about her going from Godfather 3 to director. It was a really, really good video, and she was talking about the sort of the criticism that she's remaking the same movie over and over. And my thoughts usually, if you do it well, that's fine. Scorsese's kind of done that. Woody Allen's kind of done that. And she's hit and miss. And that's one of those where I'm like, it was fine. But I feel like she could do more of it. She could add kind of a different flair to it. And I never did see, didn't she direct Priscilla? Sofia Coppola? I still haven't seen that one. I got to check that out.
Major, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, I love all your work, especially when you do your reviews on dark cartoon episodes. Can you please do a Dark Toons episode on the Dexter's Laboratory episode, Filet of Soul?
Most people want me to do the one where they swear all the time, and I'm like, but that's only one thing. They swear. It doesn't really get that dark outside of that. I don't think I've heard of that one, so I will try to check it out.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 500 bits. What movie were you Jesus Christ, Heather. What movie were you two shocked to find out was based on a book? Mine was Die Hard.
Trying to think. Oh, I guess I knew 2001 was based on a book. I didn't know they were writing the movie as they were writing the book. That was kind of it. So the movie technically came out first, and then the book. I think that's the order, but they were doing them at the same time, and that was pretty interesting.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Who's your favorite Spider-Man actor? Toby, Andrew, or Garfield, or Tom Holland?
Garfield has a lot of charm. I like the charm of Andrew Garfield. But in terms of like, man, what I kind of see Peter Parker as and evolving and growing up, and I feel like they're doing it right. This just feels right. Probably the latest one. I forgot his name. Just said it.
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland, thank you.
Eagle, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, can you review The Rocketeer 1991, one of the forgotten superhero movies? Also, will you do a crossover with YouTubers like Linkara again?
I'm trying to lay off crossovers for a little bit. I'm trying to do them only if it feels like I can't do it without them. And there are one or two I'm kind of thinking like, well, if I'm going to do this, I like to invite this person along. But I'm trying not to force them because as of now, I know I love corny stuff and everything, but that feels a little too corny to just do a crossover to do a crossover kind of thing. Like I want to do it if it really justifies it. But with Rocketeer, I did Disney December on it. I feel like I got across my thoughts there. I like the movie, but nothing's jumping out to me to talk about it right now, but we'll see. That can change.
Chat, there's only about 3 minutes left on the giveaway over on Twitch. If you haven't already done so, !Raffle in the chat will get you entered to win some stickers from Channel Awesome here. I see only 30 people have entered and there's 57 people in chat. I'm just saying. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Since Wreck-It Ralph, Alan Tudyk has been in every Disney movie. Which of his characters are your favorite?
Really? I didn't know that.
I don't know if every. Well, no, I don't know. Who is? Is it every? Who is he in Encanto?
Because he'll do stuff like just random animals and stuff like
he was
that too.
Hey
Like
in Moana.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. I'd be curious to look that up. And which one's my favorite? Was that the question? It's a shame because I love the voice of the goat in Wish. It's a great voice. I mean, it's basically Clayface, but I think that would just so naturally be funny. But they never write anything funny for him. So yeah, I'd have to go back and go back and look at all the characters he played. For now, I'll just say the chicken. I don't know.
Your mom, thank you for the £5 super chats. Hey, Doug, can you review the live-action G.I. Joe movies?
Man, I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one. I found it mostly boring, except for Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who I thought he was just having the time of his life as Cobra Commander. That was great. Everything else about it I thought was pretty dull, and I never did see the follow-up. So maybe I could do like a compilation video or something like that.
Sebastian, thank you for the $2 super chat. Low Tone, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you watched or considered doing a review of the 1985 CBS mini-series of Alice in Wonderland? It's on YouTube.
1985. Oh, wait. Have I seen this? Hold on. 1985 Alice in Wonderland. I've seen a lot of them. Okay, I have seen this one years ago. I think James actually talked about this one too. Yeah, it's pretty out there. I mean, they're all pretty out there, aren't they? But no, don't know. I wouldn't mind watching it again. I'll at least watch it again.
Chris, thank you for the $5 super chat. Fun fact, a few Arthur writers actually wrote on Doug in the past. So you've been praising Doug writers and didn't even know it. How do you feel? Oh, no, wait, they did. How do you feel?
Do you feel? That's pretty good. Like just a jerk.
Great. JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Does Charlotte's Web still make you cry? Who doesn't? Come on now. I used to teach that book, and if you are not sobbing at Charlotte's Web, you are not human. I've read that book at least 20 times in my life.
Are they talking about the movie? Are they talking about the cartoon? Are they talking about the book?
One.
The book does. I don't know if I cried when I read it, but I was legit emotional, when I read it. The cartoon is fine. It does it okay, but it didn't quite capture what the book did. And then the live action one's weird. I don't know if the live action one quite worked, but I know a lot of people like it. I can see why, but it's like it was a little too romanticized. You know what I mean? I kind of like almost the at the ending, the way they handle it. It's almost like just, yeah, that's just life kind of thing. And that's kind of what's so harsh about it. Like, oh, wait, this is goodbye? What are you talking about? Kind of thing. Like, it just happened so sudden. And I think that's what's so effective about it. And the movie just built up the big music, the big dramatic thing. And I'm like, that ain't how it's supposed to go.
All right, the raffle has completed over on Twitch. I have to move something over this way so that I can actually hit the complete button. Why does it do?
Why is it doing that?
Yep. Now I have Doug stuck in my head.
I was going to say you're humming the theme.
You heard me. You heard me, Doug. You knew it. You knew what I was doing. There it is. Okay, pick a winner. That Disney Nerd. You have won over on Twitch. That Disney Nerd, congratulations. Waveflow will be in touch. You have won some stickers. Congratulations. Thank you for entering. Evan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the Adventure Time spinoff Fiona and Cake? If so, any chance for more vlogs? Also been watching you for 10 plus years. Love you, dude.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'd have to finish the original show. Vlogs. Yeah, we just stopped at some point because, again, just we were running out of time to do them. But I've seen a little bit of it. And it wasn't bad. I've seen maybe the first 3 episodes. And it was good. It is one of those where I feel like it could maybe pick up a little bit. Maybe I need to be more patient for it. But yeah, I should probably sit down and watch all of it because I only like I said, only got to like episode 3, but it wasn't bad. It was just, again, there's just so much content and so much work to do that it's a little hard to keep up.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the Owl House episode where Lilith and Luce go back in time, why did it annoy that they couldn't tell Philip was Bellows?
I just thought it was so obvious. It's like everything is just advertising this, and they're just helping him out. Oh, maybe we can do this. Oh, perhaps we can help him out here. Oh, and I'm just like, and I guess I found out it wasn't the same voice actor, but it was like the brother of the voice actor or something like that. But they sound exactly alike, and it's just so obvious. Yeah, that was my take. I don't know. I hate it when they have a twist in something that's just so everybody watching, even little kids, can figure it out. That's just a pet peeve of mine. But they're acting like it's a huge surprise.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. And I am feeling so silly because I know this song and you specify to sing it. And I can't think of it right now. Doug, you probably know it. They call him Cuban Doug. He knows how to cut a rug. I even feel like I know the rhythm.
They call me Cuban Doug.
There
he
it is.
knows how to
cut a rug.
Cut a rug.
And when the hype train's on, he goes chug chug a boom, chug 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 a boom.
Yeah, you got it. Chug, chug, a boom, chug, chug, a boom. Yeah, you got it.
There we go. We got it there eventually. Sebastian, thank you for the $2 super chat. Fire Tower, thank you for the $5 super chat. I still want to see Shin Kamen Rider. I believe it one of the best adult superhero movie, 10 times better than Power Rangers 2017.
Oh, a movie or a show? I thought it was a show.
No, Shin Kamen Rider is a movie.
Oh.
I was
Yes, I
frozen
always thought it was a
today.
show.
Kamen
Okay.
Rider is, but Shin Kamen Rider is a movie.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, all right. Yeah, maybe I'll check it out just to check it out. But in terms of like covering it and stuff like that, I don't even get into Power Rangers, so yeah, I'm probably not the one to do it.
Spike Bebop, thank you for the $5 super chat. Why are video game adaptations becoming really good?
I think they're just sticking closer to the source material, or at the very least, the spirit of the game. I think with comic book movies, when they saw how well those are doing by sticking closer to what the source material was, but still, again, adapting it for a film, but keeping the spirit of the characters and the world alive. That's probably what opened it up to video games when people finally started to hit the sort of superhero, fatigue going. They're like, okay, let's try video games now. It seems like the next logical step. We got a few hits, and the closer they make it to, again, the material, the more people seem to like it. So, yeah, I think that's why.
We're going to have to pick up the pace just a little bit. We're an hour behind.
Gotcha.
Amanda, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you still do career deep dives? If so, would you consider Mel Brooks, Tim Burton, or Don Bluth?
No, I love to, but they just got no numbers. I'm sorry. People loved him, but they got no numbers.
Metal Zell, thank you for the $2 super chat. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, you said you didn't like Mr. Smithers out of curiosity. What don't you like about him? Now, to be fair, that was only after I'd seen season 1 and half of season 2. I'm growing to like him a little bit more. He was just nothing. He's just so pathetic, and all he does is just only lives to serve Mr. Burns, which I know is the whole point, and their like interactions are great, but not him as a character is great. You know what I mean?
He gets better. He gets better for a while.
Car, thank you for the $20 super chat. Hey, Doug, I don't know if you know this or not, but Disney used to own Miramax from 1994 to 2005. Would you consider including one of those certain Miramax movies in your next Disney December?
That's one of the possibilities for the next Disney December, the next edition.
Amanda, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you ever do NCs on any of the National Lampoon movies?
Maybe Christmas Vacation, because I like it as a Christmas movie. That's about all I can think of.
Metalhead Madman, thank you so much for the $50 super chat.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate that. Do you ever get nervous about running out of commercial episodes to do? You run through those faster even though it's a yearly thing.
It's funny. We always hit a point where we're like, maybe we're done. Maybe we're hitting a lull. Like we might get an episode that just we don't feel the inspiration as much. But then usually the next one we catch up. Honestly, it started episode 3. We thought, that was kind of weak. Maybe we're done. But then we did the 4th one that was pretty good. And same thing. I think like maybe 2 years before we hit one, we're like, I don't know if that was any good. But then like the one after was great.
Jacob, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, did you do any musical extracurriculars in school, seeing as how you came from a musical family?
Again, I sung a little bit, and that was more because people kind of pushed me into it, if that makes sense. I didn't not want to do it, but I wasn't, longing to, if that makes sense. So, not, intensely, not a whole bunch.
Metal Zell, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you like Trailer Park Boys, Doug?
I don't think I've ever seen. I know what they are, but I don't think I've ever seen them.
Axel Gabriel, thank you for the $10 super chat. From your experience in reviewing bad movies, what would you say separates genuinely really bad movies and movies that are bad but still entertaining? Basically, the ones that are so bad it's good.
Uh, some sort of like ambition or unique voice, or maybe even a combination of the two, or a unique way of doing it, I think is pretty fun.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts on Cold Mountain or Crash 2004? Those are movies that critics praise, but I cannot stand.
Crash had a good idea, but it did not deliver it very well. It felt very forced. I never did see Cold Mountain.
AZN, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, not a question, but did you know their voice of grandma in Rap Shitty Street Kids wasn't edited? It was recorded as is.
Yeah, it was some sort of like rehearsal she did, like before she would do the voice recording. She'd be like that's what she would do, just kind of for fun. And they used that for some reason. I don't know. It's weird.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Ever play a video game called Tattletale on Steam? It is a possessed Furby-like creature while you're trying to get your Christmas presents a peek.
No, that kind of sounds like fun. Might check
Tamra
that out.
did. She really had a great time with it. Awesomeness, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, it'd be a challenge with YouTube's no fun rules, but Eli Roth's Thanksgiving could use your review and you'd look good in the hat.
I do have that in the queue on Netflix. I do want to check it out.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are both of your guys' thoughts on the anime Belle? I thought it was a good movie with stunning visuals and great songs.
I liked it fine, but I guess some people see it as like one of the best films of the year. Like people that connect to it really connect to it. So yeah, I guess I say check it out because you might really connect to it.
Sean, thank you for the $2 super chat. Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Sharky's Machine? It's heavily referenced in Venture Bros, and it was the movie when Brad was born, underrated Burt Reynolds flick.
No, I don't even think I haven't even seen
It's supposed
this.
to be #1. I just saw a hashtag exclamation point movie, and I was like,
Oh, that's
number
funny.
one movie when Brad was born. Got it.
No, it looks like fun though. I gotta check it out.
Nebula, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Conga Line guy from C2E2 last year. You gonna be there again this year? Heck
Yes. Check us out, man. Yeah.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $10 super chat. Goat from Wish proves just because you don't sound like Jar Jar Binks doesn't mean you're any less annoying.
Yeah, I like it. And I hate it when they have something that an actor who's very funny, has a funny voice, and they just give him nothing funny to say.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Would you ever do a review of E.T. the Extraterrestrial?
You know, it's a good movie. It never really grabbed me though. I find it a little dull. But
I will end this stream right now, Doug.
But it is good. I know that the people that love it should. It's a very easy movie to like. It's very well made and everything. It just never. Every once in a while, there's an '80s movie that doesn't grab me. I'm the same way with Goonies. Like it's good. It's a good movie, but just never grabbed me. I found it a touch boring.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you have any ideas about what you will watch after Molly McGee? One show I would like to recommend is The Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. It's a great show, and the theme song "Fight as One" is one of my favorite theme songs.
I got a few written down. I have to look at them again, but I'll see if I can add that to the list.
Great Pretender, thank you for the 500 bits. Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad?
Better Call Saul. I'm Breaking Bad like inspired it, and that's great. But to me, I don't really get into it until Saul gets in there. So yeah, I just like that character more and the people around him.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. You once said you had seen a few episodes of Samurai Jack. From what you remember, what did you think of Mako as Aku?
Oh, he's fun. Yeah, I like the. I don't want to say you don't see him funny because you do, but just a character that like 90% of him is meant to be humorous is pretty fun. But he also gets the threatening angle down too.
AOT fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are you thinking of AOT ending? I'm assuming it's supposed to be Attack on Titan. I don't know what else AOT would stand for.
I haven't seen much of the original, so I'm not the one to ask. I'm so sorry.
Lemon Ice, thank you for the $5 super chat. There's a Taika Waititi live action Akira coming. How would you handle the adaptation?
Boy, I don't know. I don't know. You know, maybe I would do kind of what they did with Alita where they would combine the manga and the movie, because I know the manga is different and they do some stuff that's kind of interesting. So maybe combining the two would
I
be
was
interesting. Because
chosen
yeah, it's like
today.
why do a live action version of the movie? It's already there. Like
Mhm.
maybe doing something like the manga would be interesting.
Thumperoo, thank you for the $5 super chat. I hope this isn't too personal, but could you tell us what happened before and after you quit your job as a janitor to do Nostalgia Critic full time?
Oh, I was actually becoming an illustrator. And then this kind of was my hobby, and now it's flipped. So I don't advise doing this, but I kind of wanted to guarantee myself, okay, go 100% to your dream to be an illustrator or do something creative by burning this bridge, if that may, which I don't advise. But at the time, I was like, you have a chance, take it. Like, this is saying you're going to take that chance seriously because, man, now finding another cleaning job is going to be impossible, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm surprised you never heard of Guns of Navarro since it stars your favorite actor, Gregory Peck, during the peak of his career.
Huh,
Navarone. Sorry.
yeah, and I love Gregory Peck. Yeah, no, I gotta check it out.
Explorer Bear, thank you for the $9 super chat. Are you going to do an NC review of The Land Before Time? Love you, Doug.
Yeah.
Great.
I maybe I was just writing it. I don't know.
Who could say? The Writing Sisters, thank you for the $2 super chat. The Celtic Bros, thank you for the $2 super chat. The Celtic Bros, thank you for the $2 super chat. Jacob, thank you for the $10 super chat. First, apologies for asking the music question twice. I forgot I asked it earlier. Second, did you hear the Winnie the Pooh horror movie is spawning a public domain childhood horror universe?
That's not surprising. I feel like they've kind of been doing that even before, if you know that company.
Big Jack Films, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, hope all is well. Sorry for my absence on Twitch, busy with Kong stuff giving the new movie. Also, my girlfriend says hi.
Oh, well, say hi back.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. There's something I love that they point out in the Paranorman commentary in the beginning when Norman is watching a zombie movie. His grandma says, why don't you just sit down and talk? Then you find things would have ended faster in the zombies if Norman had just stopped and talked to them.
Yep, and that's foreshadowing what's going to happen. Yeah, no, I'm probably going to do that film this year for Nostalgia Wing. I really, really like that one.
Randall, thank you for the $5 super chat. Good evening, Doug. Much love. Is Garbage Pail Kids still the worst film you've seen? Has anything come close to being comparable to it?
Cat in the Hat and the Nutcracker 3D have come pretty close, but yeah, Garbage Pail Kid's still the worst.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Would you ever do a review of the Disney Channel TV series, The Jersey?
I don't even know it. Try to look into it.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 500 bits. Speaking of Star Trek, what other Gene Roddenberry show do you like?
Star Trek: The Next Generation? I don't know. I haven't seen that many of his shows outside of Star Trek.
Saltwater Echo, thank you for the 500 bits. Your thoughts on Rooster Teeth folding?
Oh, it's a shame. I'd be live. I said I saw a ton
I was
from them, but I did
frozen
watch
today.
Red versus Blue back in the day. I think I saw up to I forget it was season 7 or 11, but we would buy the DVDs and really, really loved it. So yeah, no, it's a real shame to see.
The Celtic Bros, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you ever review the Silent Hill movies for Nostalgia Ween? Be warned, the first is mid, the second is god-awful. Also, big fan, so hi!
I keep forgetting there are Silent Hill movies. That's right. I keep thinking Resident Evil. Maybe. I don't know the games. That's the thing. So probably not. But hi back.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Something I like about Kirk's death is Picard assuring him that they made a difference.
Yeah. No, it's not awful. It's just not. It's not good enough for a character that big.
Easy D, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts on reviewing the movie The Incredible Mr. Limpet, starring Don Knotts as a talking fish in the Navy?
I don't think there's an audience for that. I don't know if Jim Carrey said no to it, then we should probably say no to it. I remember it being weird, but yeah, I don't, unless it's like a Disney film, maybe I'll do a Disney December of it.
Sebastian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Just started watching Red vs. Blue in second season, but my god, the fact it's gone so long is impressive. You shot Church, you team killing beep.
Yeah, no, we quote a lot of that show. It's very, very funny.
Frank, thank you for the $5 super chat. Say in Ghostface voice, what's your favorite scary movie? Sorry, I realized as I was reading it that they wanted me to say it in the Ghostface voice, and I did not. But you can answer too. What's your favorite
Gotcha.
scary movie?
The Haunting, the original. I love that movie.
Jacob, thank you for the $2 super chat. Mark, thank you for the $5 super chat. Can you say this? My name is Doug Walker. I was bitten by a radioactive movie, and for the past 10 years, I have been the one and only spider critic.
My name is Doug Walker. I was bitten by a radioactive movie, and once and forever I've been the one and only Nostalgia Critic Madam Web reference. I'm sorry, I got it wrong.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Edward Scissorhands, do you think Jim is a good villain?
Yeah, he's a little one note, but I like the way he's played. I like that it's the former geek that played him too. I think that's kind of fun.
Frank, thank you for the $20 super chat. If I remember correctly, you're not a fan of disaster movies, and if that's true, would you ever do an NC review of San Andreas and tear it apart? I'm sorry, it's a guilty pleasure of mine, but I would still want to hear your thoughts.
Is that the Rock one? I don't think I've seen that one. I'll try to look into it.
Explorer Bear, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you going to do a Land Before Time month?
Month? No. There's way too many. A guy had to be a year, wouldn't it? There's so many sequels.
Pig Shack Films, thank you for the $5
I was
super chat.
frozen
Following
today.
that crossover question, waiting for my Kongling for a Kong Lab Doug. I'll be here when you need me.
Good to know. Thank you.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you ever consider reviewing Where the Red Fern Grows?
Did I see? I think I saw that movie. I remember liking it. Again, I don't think there's much demand for it though.
Zekrom, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you watched Invincible, the animated superhero show with J.K. Simmons as the voice of the ruthless Omni-Man? If you have, what do you think about it? My opinion on the show is amazing!
I did. I saw the first season. I really, really liked it. I didn't know the comics, so that was really fun. The second season's not out yet, right?
It is, and both parts
It
are.
is,
I believe
okay.
both parts are now. So,
Okay, I gotta see the second season then.
Gabby, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, any chance of you reviewing Elvin and the Chipmunks Meet Frankenstein / Wolfman for Nostalgia Ween?
I've thought about it because I've gotten requests for it before, so maybe.
Tiger Mac, thank you for the $10 super chat. Do you think the director's cut of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 would help the film like Zack Snyder's Justice League with over 1.5 hours of deleted scenes? And is there a film you think needs a director cut?
I'd be curious to see what the original Suicide Squad was
Heck
supposed
yeah.
to be like. I mean, who knows? I would think probably not because it so feels like Sony had its hands all over everything. But maybe it would work.
AOT fan, thank you for the $2 super chat. Strider for Life, thank you for the $5 super chat. I just saw Godzilla x Kong New Empire movie last night, and it was awesome. Definitely a blockbuster.
Yeah, I have fun with it. I thought it was a pretty good time.
Thumperoo, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, would you consider doing a nostalgia critic review, of Max Keeble's Big Move?
I've never seen it. I think it has a little bit of a following. So at the very least, I should probably do a Disney December on it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Something I love about the time travel episode in Owl House is that it's revealed that the reason... There's so many spoilers that you give,
Yeah.
Movie Mike. A detail about Bellus's nose.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't hate it. I just don't get into it. Most of the things around that character, I just don't get into.
Master Tiebreaker, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, I got to see the eclipse on Monday. A whole lot of fun. I don't know what people were saying about the end of the world. My unholy spawn from the pit of darkness behaved very well during the event.
Yeah, mine too. I don't know what people are getting upset about.
Yeah, genuinely. Your name, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hi, Channel Awesome. Will you do any more video going over episodes of cartoons? It's nice to see appreciation for them and showing them to new generations.
If I did, it'd be something like either Dark Toons or just a new show kind of thing. Yeah, vlogs, I don't think I have the time for, sadly.
Mystery, thank you for the $5 super chat. No message, just the chat. Frank Altman, thank you for the $5 super chat. Speaking of Alan Tudyk, you ever see an underrated movie of his called Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Yeah, he is in that, isn't he? That's right. Yeah, I like that movie. I think it's a very clever idea.
Mystery, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you ever do a review of YouTube indie animated projects like Hell of a Boss, Lackadaisy, Murder Drones, etc.?
I did a little bit for, I did, not Has Been Hotel,
Hell of a Boss?
no, I did do Has Been Hotel. I didn't do Hell of a Boss, but yeah, I did one for Has Been Hotel. And in there, I did a little bit of review of Hell of a Boss, but So and even then I kind of did it because it's on Amazon,
Hmm.
kind of streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I usually try not to talk about other YouTuber stuff because like if I do have a legit criticism or something I really don't like, I don't like, kind of beating down on YouTubers because I feel like we're all kind of on the same boat. And there's enough backstabbing in the
Hmm.
YouTube community. So I like to stay away from it. But I do like Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss.
Shouting Joker, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Appreciate it. This
Thank
might be
you.
a dumb question, but do you think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is up there with Fan Four Stick, Green Lantern, or Garbage Pail Kids? I honestly hope you don't hate it that much.
Oh no, 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 not at all. No, there's a lot of good things in it. I feel like on paper it should work. It's just the death is in the details for me. But again, a lot of people liked it too. So yeah, no, nowhere near that bad.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In The Curse of the Black Pearl, I love Barbossa's last word, I feel cold. For so long, he wanted to feel again, and when the curse is finally broken, and the first thing and last thing he feels is death.
Yeah, it's good. I think I said in the review I would have liked it better if he actually said old. I thought that would have been a funnier line, but I mean that's a weird thing to critique.
JL, thank you for the $10 super
I was
chat. Did you
frozen
ever do a
today.
full review of Everybody Loves Raymond?
No, that's another show. I respect it. I can't stand it. I can't. Maybe because I feel like I've had arguments like that with family members, just stupid little things, and that's why I know it's good, but it drives me insane.
Your name, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever seen/willing to see a movie called Funky Forest: The First Contact? It has vibes like Rubber, but really weird in a Japanese way.
Huh. Okay. No, I've never even heard of it. I'll try to check it out.
Retro Maniac, thank you for the $10 super chat. What's your biggest guilty pleasure film? Also, I found the Mom and Dad Save the World Mario movie concept designs. Some look good, some look bad, some look scary. It's all online. Keep up the great work.
I'll have to check that out. And I'm sure there's others, but the ones pop in my head is Greatest Showman. That's a pretty fun, insane time.
Randall, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen any UA Bowl films? Some being House of the Dead, Postal, Alone in the Dark, etc. And any thoughts on them if you have?
Yeah, they're bad, but they're not my kind of bad. I reviewed a couple, but they're just kind of bland to me. I never quite got the passion for hating them because I think they're kind of boring.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Gremlins, what do you, I think they mean of Mrs. Deagle?
Oh, is that the mean neighbor? Oh, she's a fun, foil to get her comeuppance.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you ever seen the Charles Laughton film Ruggles of Red Gap? It's a very funny comedy. Edward Norton has even called it one of his favorite movies.
No, I don't even think I've heard of it. I'll try to check it out.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What's a movie where you like everything except the main character?
Cats Don't Dance. I don't like the main character in that.
Easy D, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, what are your thoughts on reviewing Don Bluth's early 1978 animated film Banjo the Woodpile Cat?
That might be a Disney production. I can't remember if it was just Don Bluth. I know he made it when he was at Disney, but I don't know if Disney released it. That would be interesting to talk about. The history of it is really, really interesting.
Sebastian Edmond, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you ever consider reviewing the Asylum mockbusters of Marvel and DC movies like Avengers, Grimm, or Sinister Squad? Get it?
Probably not. They are fun, but I think that's more like sort of Brad Jones's thing or another critic's thing. But some of them are pretty fun.
Rezier, thank you for the $5 super chat. Next career dive, I recommend Tarantino.
Maybe, but I'm just not doing them anymore. Nobody watched them. People like them, but they don't watch them.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Do you prefer digital movies like streaming services or physical media?
Oh, physical. I like having streaming. I'm not going to act like I don't, but I not only miss physical media, and I try to get when I can for something I really like, but I love going to video stores and looking around. I miss that experience.
The Red Dragon, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug, can doing any review to Netflix movies like Nimona as Nostalgia Critic, even I wish we can do it on physical media?
I agree.
I think they're asking, will you ever do a review like on Nimona?
Oh,
Netflix movies like that.
Gotcha. Probably not because you do need a hard copy of it. Because if not, you are pretty much doing something illegal. You're taking it,
Mhm.
off streaming, and it's like, it's a little harder to defend as a critic.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the Roswell episode of Futurama?
I remember liking it. It reminded me a little bit of the when Deep Space Nine did something like that, but they went further with it and had fun with it.
Thumbaroo, thank you for the $5 super chat. If Nostalgia Critic came to an end for the second time, how would you end the series and would you do anything different from your Scooby Doo review?
I don't know. I mean, at some point, I'm gonna have to kill him off. Okay, I made it this time. But it keeps changing. I mean, it's very, very different from where we started off. So I think I have to just sort of see where I'm at that point, and choose the ending based on that.
JL, thank you for the $10 super chat. Do you own any laser discs?
Some fans have given me some. Like, I know I have a Secret of Nim one. I think I have a Logan's Run one that a fan gave me. I don't know why, but yeah, that's about it.
All right, and we
I
have
was
caught up
frozen
to
today.
everything then. So
Alrighty.
woo woo woo. Terrence Truth on Twitch asks, have you ever seen Killers with Ashton Kutcher? And if you have, would you do a comparison to Tom Cruise's Night and Day?
I haven't heard of either of those movies. Somehow I missed them. Yeah, sorry.
Multi Sabata, thank you for the $2 super chat. Could you review the Daniel Craig James Bond films?
Again, maybe it's like, I'm not the James Bond guy. I like the movies, some I like more than others, but I mean, people that talk about them really know the history of them and the lines and stuff like that. And I'm not that guy. I think you need someone who's much more passionate about it. That's another one where Brad reviews a lot of those movies. He hasn't done all of them, but I get a feeling he will.
Power Gamer over on Twitch asks, I know you thought about bringing back Dream Worksuary, but are you worried about time? So how about either doing a handful each year instead of every day, or doing it over the course of a few years and just saving them until you're done?
Maybe. I mean, what, I do them in February? I mean, that's another thing too. I did it in February, right after a theme month with Disney December. I have a month to rest, I guess, and then just to go right into it again. It's like, even if I just did a few. So I don't know. I like to do them again. I don't know how yet.
Easy D, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts on reviewing the 1982 film The Last Unicorn, starring Christopher Lee as the villainous King Haggard?
I have to see it again because I saw it when I was really, really young, and I don't have that much of a memory about. I mean, I remember it being good, but I didn't quite get I don't think I had the same connection a lot of other people had with it. And I'm wondering if I'm just missing something. Wait, is that Rankin Bass? Did they do that?
I'm not sure.
If they did that, that might be trickier because they come down hard on the claims we found out.
Oh.
So maybe not.
Gotcha. Randall, thank you for the $5 super chat. Best ending for the Nostalgia Critic would be him walking off into the sunset with Melvin, brother of the Joker.
Maybe. Don't spoil it.
The Red Dragon, thank you for the $2 super chat. Can you review The Spy Next Door?
Maybe for is that a Disney movie? I can't remember. I never saw it. I guess I should if it has enough of a following, maybe.
The Beetle Boy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Piggybacking on the physical media, do you still use/collect VHS? Favorite you have, if so?
I don't know if I collect them, but I do hold on to ones, especially ones that either don't have a DVD or Blu-ray release, or ones I know have been chopped up a lot, like Star Wars and stuff like that, or like the Disney movies. So I have a lot of those.
Cartoon Dictator on Twitch asks, favorite character from Disenchantment?
I go through. I always get the actor's name of the one who plays Moss from IT Crowd. Any character he plays, I always really like. So yeah, maybe that character. If anything, just to hear his funny voice.
Undead Jester, thank you for the $5 super chat. Back on the topic of the fall of Rooster Teeth, what are your thoughts on Ruby? It was one of my favorite thing ever as a teen, but it fell off hard.
I never saw it. And I think, I don't know, maybe I gotta see it again, but I couldn't get into the style of it because that's like CG kind of trying to look like hand drawn, right?
Yeah.
That is so hard for me to get into. Some can pull it off okay, but yeah, at that point, I couldn't get into it. But I'm sure it could be very good, but the style was too distracting for me.
Master Mario over on Twitch asks, will you review the first Narnia movie? It's almost 20 years old. I want to see your further thoughts on it outside Disney-cember. You can talk about why it didn't finish the other books and why it was a success as Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and Pirates.
Yeah, I like to. It's on the list, and I heard they might be. They were legit waiting for the actors to get to the appropriate age. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought I heard they were gonna try and finish it up, just waiting for them to get older.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on Rio Bravo? And have you seen 1917 since you referenced it in your Pinocchio Pauly Shore review?
That's another one. I've seen bits of it, but not the whole thing, and I
Oh,
should because
1917
it's
is really
yeah, I
good.
know. I got watching. I got it really close to the TV screen. Yeah, I don't think I saw. Yeah, I never saw this one. I've heard Rio Bravo, but I never actually sat down and watched. Good people involved, obviously, but yeah, never saw it.
Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Batman Beyond?
Only a little bit. That's another one I have to sit down and watch the whole thing of. That and Static Shock. I'm trying to get through. Because again, after Malcolm's review, I'm like, I really should finally sit down and check this out. And what I've seen, I really like.
Mystery, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you review Dogma or Philaday? I know you touched on a scene from there with another YouTuber. I'm wondering if we get a full review.
I might do Dogma. I think it'd be pretty interesting to talk about because I'm very mixed on the movie, but I think now that time has passed and people aren't, well, I guess we'll find out, but people aren't quite as waving their fists about it. I think it's an interesting film to talk because I love how it got younger people into discussing religion, was specifically Christianity and Catholicism. But as a movie, I don't know if it works, and it's fun comparing those two.
Okay, and I think that's going to have to be it for us, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us here, as usual. We super appreciate it. YouTube, I know you only get to see us once a week, but if you do come follow us over on Twitch, we have content 5 days a week. So we will be back on Twitch tomorrow. Well, Malcolm will be on tomorrow. Doug will be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on Friday. Tamara and I will be back on Monday, etc., etc. So you can come hang out with us over there. Also, Twitch, we are raiding over to Miss Tamara Chambers, the wonderful, the incomparable Tamara, who we always appreciate. So we'll be raiding out over there. Thank you all so much. Red Dragon, thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate that. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. And we will see you all later.
Bye-bye. Goodbye.